Let's have a look at you all. Hold up your banners. Let's see them all over the park. Fantastic! Fantastic! You are what the beginning... Okay, put them down again. At the beginning of the United Nations Charter, it says that we, the peoples of the United Nations, determined to save succeeding generations from the scourge of war. And you are the people, and you say no to war. And it's not just here in London, the Shetlands, Penzance, Norway, New Zealand, Washington, Hong Kong, all around the world. People are saying no to this stupid war. No! I've got two little messages. One is to the people in the armed forces, because if the war starts, it starts with people in the armed forces. I've been in the armed forces. I know what it is to be a soldier, and it's a very brave soldier who says no. We have seen brave soldiers in this world. In the Israeli armed forces, there are refuseniks who will not serve in the West Bank, and I praise and congratulate them. We had, in the first Gulf War, we had soldiers, Vic Williams, who refused to serve in an oil war, and I congratulate him and them at that time.
Salma Yaqub.
I'd like to start by asking each and every one of you to turn to the person next to you and give them a smile. Because right now we've got something to smile about. The biggest ever anti-war demonstration this country has ever seen. If today only the socialists had turned up, the Stop the War Coalition had three aims at the start. 1, to stop unjust wars. 2, to stop the attacks on civil liberties. And 3, to stop the racist backlash. Events in Britain have reinforced the need for this three-pronged stance. To its shame, this government has stooped to the lowest of tactics, whipping up in a hysteric manner the idea of a potential terrorist attack in this country. The linking of terrorism and ordinary Muslims, as was witnessed this week by talking about terrorist attacks at the time of Eid, an unprecedented event, is shameless, especially considering that this government came in the votes of the ethnic minorities of this country. The good news is that despite their racism, we have built a fantastic coalition, a genuine coalition, where people of all faiths, of all backgrounds, have come together in a genuine struggle for justice.
Jill Evans from Plaid Cymru.
Thank you very much, Diolch yn fawr. I don't have to tell you that as we are meeting here today, there are rallies, demonstrations, meetings and vigils taking part throughout the world. We are part of a new worldwide movement for peace. People everywhere are saying no to a war against Iran. We are here to tell the British government that they cannot go to war in our name, that we won't accept it, and we'll do everything we can to stop it. Protests like this are so important. We have to send out a very clear message that killing innocent men, women and children can never be the answer, and respecting the United Nations, not undermining the United Nations as George W. Bush and Tony Blair are doing.
To show Tony Blair and to tell him openly
that if one country needs a regime change at the moment, it's Britain. They said to us, the new Labour leaders, you will never be able to win the support of a majority of this country against these so-called humanitarian wars we are fighting. And we took them on, and we are here today speaking on behalf of a majority of the British people. It is Tony Blair and his frightened cabinet who speaks for a minority and who speaks for the White House.
Caused by the blind eye that our government has turned to the suffering of the Palestinian people. And I say this to you, for all those people who say that UN resolutions must be honoured, remember that 12-year-old boy against the wall with his father being shot at, being murdered. If UN resolutions are there to be honoured, they're all there to be honoured, not just a selective few. Freedom for Palestine.
Hello, Charles.
Ben. Ben now. Teresa, move people through.
Yes, sir. اجيب الاثنين دول
Every time you use petrol, you're putting money in George Bush's pocket.
Let's see it back out.
Just drift back a little bit for us. Straight line. Just push him back again.
But everyone try to step back, please.
We are here today to found a new political movement worldwide. The biggest demonstration ever in Britain, the first global demonstration, and its first cause is to prevent a war against Iraq. But it must also be about other matters as well. It must be about the establishment of a Palestinian state. It must be about democracy, not only in the Middle East, because there's no democracy in Saudi Arabia or in Iraq, but dare I say it, some democracy in Britain as well that allows the British Parliament to decide. While we're here, let us remember that 35 million people die every year in the world of hunger, that 500 billionaires in the world have the same income as half the population of the world put together. that the world in which we live is dominated by the military, by the media, and by the multinationals. And what we are about is getting democracy all over the world so we can build a world that is safe for our children and grandchildren. That is what it is about. If there are to be inspectors in Iraq, I would like to see inspectors in Israel, inspectors in Britain, inspectors in America. I want to see the United Nations. I want to see the United Nations take sanctions against the arms manufacturers who supply weapons all over the world. I want to see the money. We want to see the money wasted on weapons of mass destruction diverted to give the world what it needs, which is food and clothing and housing and schools and hospitals, and to protect the old and the sick and the disabled. My friends, that is what we are here about today. We are starting something really big, and our first task is peace in Iraq, but we must not stop until we have achieved the objectives that bring us all to Hyde Park this afternoon. Thank you for listening.